Hello, back again, normal me, no eyelash filter. And what I wanted to just it just crossed my mind, and you know me, I like to just talk a lot. So I figured, why not talk about it with my friends, right? So, the whiteboard again. It says Cancer rising, Cancer moon, Cancer Venus, or Venus in Cancer. If you're lost, we're talking about zodiac signs. A lot of times people think that things don't matter. Like when I talk to people sometimes and I mention the fact that I'm a Sagittarius, Gemini moon, Cancer rising, I know that because of the day I was born, the year I was born, and the time I was born. My mom finally figured out what time I was born by digging through her brain. At first, she told me the wrong time, so I used to always think that I was a Virgo rising, but I never really had anything in common with Virgos. So then I kept asking her till she was like, you know what, you were born around 7 p.m. ish. She remembers because my aunt came in from work at that time when she was delivering me. I was the first child that she pushed out of her vagina. I have an older brother, but he was delivered a different way. Let's just put it that way. As a Cancer rising, I'm going to read what it says. My other phone isn't working, so I'm just going to read from a screen over here. Cancer rising. With your ascendant in the cardinal water sign Cancer, ruled by the luminous, intuitive moon. That's why I'm so obsessed with the moon. And if you follow me on Snapchat, you'll know that. Like, whenever it's a full moon, I'm always the happiest person in the world. You come off as nurturing, heartfelt, genuine, sympathetic, and gentle, which I am. Others perceive you as compassionate and emotionally generous. You tend to show up for the people you love, sometimes to a fault. Now, I like to think that I'm pretty balanced because I have a lot of Capricorn, my Venus is in Capricorn. And my Gemini moon. So it's yeah, I'll show up for people, but I've learned a long time ago, or maybe recently, not to put out for people and do too much, because the same people that I have done so much for has hurt me. Because you can't control other people. You can pour into people as much as you want to. People are gonna do whatever they want to do at the end of the day. You feel me? So, as a Sagittarius, Cancer rising, I love people. I love being in a relationship because, it allows me to just cuddle and cook and do things for my partner and stuff, which is something that I love to do. But at the same time, if I don't have that, I'm okay too. I feel like I've always been okay to be by myself. But if I'm with someone or if I'm around people, I could be very caring and loving. But sometimes it just gets overwhelming for me. So then I have to be okay, I need to leave and go live my life and do whatever it is and then come back. So that sums me up. Sure, I'll care and love for you, but I don't want to just do it constantly every day for the rest of my life. You get I need a break, simply put. So I'm here, love, nurture, everything. But then within a month or two, I need to go to Jamaica or Grenada, to the islands, to take in some fresh air, swim a bit, live for me, be happy, and then come back. So that's literally how I am. Moving on, Cancer moon. Things you should know. Cancer moons tend to be protective, introspective, and extremely emotionally sensitive. As cardinal signs, Cancer moons are action-oriented, meaning they are not just empathetic, but nurturing on a mama bear level. They take care of their loved ones. So that's Cancer moon. We're going to sum it up. Just give me a minute. We're going to do Venus in Cancer now. I'm just going to read it. My mom's a Venus in Cancer. You don't need to know what time you were born to find out your Venus sign. You just go to a website. There's a website called cafeastrology.com, which I'm going to link right here. You can go there and just type in the day, month, year you were born. Sometimes, depending on, you might need to know the time, but not always. Like, if you don't know, it's always going to be either or, and you can kind of just examine yourself based on what it says, and then you decide if you're a Venus in Pisces or a Venus in Aquarius. Because I remember, like, I tried to do one for my friend, and then it came up where it was either one of those depending on the time the person was born. Venus in Cancer people are kind, protective, and family oriented. They're known for their sentimentality and nostalgia. Long-term committed relationships are important for Venus in Cancer folks who favor warm and tender romances and lots of cuddly affection. Like I said earlier, like, if I have a friend, I'm always gonna want to be like cuddly. People that have like a lot of Cancer on their side, Cancer in their chart, tend to be very caring and nurturing, cry easily. Like me, if I watch a movie, like, I cry so easily, it's insane. Like, sometimes I'll just be outside somewhere and I just remember something and I start crying. It's not the best thing because people are going to look at you as weak, you know, especially in the world today where things are so harsh. I mean, every time you put on the news, it's some wild thing. They're always just trying to put fear into people's hearts. So when people notice that you cry a lot or you're cuddly and very, like, you know, always want to be around them and stuff, they might see you as weak. In my opinion, I think crying is so, whenever I cry, I feel like so much better as opposed to like if I didn't. So it really depends. So the positives are literally what I just read, where it's like if you're with someone who has like a lot of Cancer on their chart, which I have a friend, like I have friends who are Cancers, they're always so loving, so genuine, so kind. But then sometimes people take advantage of that. So people will take advantage of you for as long as they can. And then I think the worst part is when you realize it. You realize, because it has happened to me, when you realize that that's what's going on, you feel really hurt. And as much as you're kind, you kind of want to get back at them. Because younger me has dated someone who saw how loving and caring I was, took advantage of me, but then I made sure I got back. I got my lick back. Okay? I am not a Cancer. I am a Sagittarius, Cancer rising, Gemini moon. Okay? Now, like I said, for the ignorant people who don't really even know what I'm talking about, because you don't take time to get to know yourself. You're busy at work. You're busy fulfilling somebody else's dream. You don't even know who you are. I mean, you could choose to, today, after watching this video, go and find out like a little bit of things about me, about yourself, and about you. And appreciate it. Work on it. Amplify it, like whatever it is you want to do. Or you could just be like, I'm not into those things. Those things don't matter. Whatever. I always think everything matters, okay? In life, you have to be free. And the only way to be free, I think, is to know yourself, know the world, and to understand is freedom. I think, like, above all else. And for me, that's why I always say everything matters. And I'm curious, and we have so much resources just available to us now. So before, if you said that, that would make sense. But now you can literally just Google these things, which I have done, and read it to you. Anyway, like I was saying, so with your cancers, the cancer sign on your chart, like for me, I'm only a rising cancer. Like there's no other like it doesn't take up any other placement for me. Lots of Capricorn, Libra, Sagittarius, I think 3, Pisces 2, Gemini 1, no Scorpio, no Taurus, no Leo, no fixed anything over here. So I guess that's why I'm so like, oh, I adapt so easily. But getting to the good stuff, when you have, like I just said, a lot of Cancer in your chart, you tend to want to have a home because you want to share that love, that nurture. You want to nurture and pour into other people. You want to have children. Of course, like every time I see like cute little babies, I'm always like so excited, and sometimes like I get annoyed. So it's like 2 for me. But I love children. I think they're so cute, especially when they can't talk and then they start talking and then they start saying no. I don't have any children. I can't wait to have them. I'd love to have a daughter and a son, or 2 daughters. I don't know, whatever God blesses me with. But you tend to want to have a home. And sometimes when it doesn't work out for you the way you want it to, you might like start dating someone, and then, a lot of things happen like with women. We put a lot of things in our head where it's like, well, I have to have kids before I'm 30, and then you end up having a child with a man who didn't ask you to marry him or didn't even indicate that he wants to spend the rest of his life with you, and then now you're stuck raising a child on your own. It can make you very bitter. It could be what you always wanted. I mean, you can't put yourself in a position for certain things to happen and then play victim. You get what I'm trying to say? It's your body. Like, men have sex, they don't even sometimes think about pulling out. They'll just come in you, like, if it's really good. Like, so you kind of have to protect yourself. I mean, if you're a beautiful woman, like, a man won't think twice about coming in your vagina and then you're pregnant. Now, will he stay with you and marry you is a different case, because also when you have like a lot of Cancer on your chart, you tend to be very emotional, which can have a lot of it makes you very moody. So for me, what I remember is like sometimes I had my ex-boyfriends, I would get so upset, I would say things that now that I'm older, I'm like, that's just wild, the things that I would say, the ways you would act. You kind of have to really pay attention to the things that you're doing. Maybe you're not even compatible with that person because, like, all these things matter again. So, and also, we're not very big on saying how we feel. So you kind of have to let those things that you're feeling be known. Like if you meet someone, you like the person, you love the person, you want to have a child with this person, you don't just get pregnant, you tell them that, I like you a lot, I would like to have a child before I'm 30. Can you please be my, I mean, you guys might have to, not me, you guys might have to be the ones going down on the knee. Those are probably the girls that be doing that. I'm sure they have they might be like Cancer moons, Venus in Cancer, a lot of Cancer on that chart. But like that's not something that I would do. Like again, I said I'm not a Cancer, I'm a Cancer rising, I'm a Sagittarius, so I'm very big on just like living my life. And when it's the right time for me to have children, I would love to have all my kids for one man, whether it be 1, 2, 3. I don't want to have one child. I feel like should have at least two so they can be there for each other. So I'd love to do that when the time is right for the right guy. And you kind of have to spend time to get to know people to know if they're the right person. You might get pregnant and then like it still doesn't go how you want it to go because you can't control people, but you have to always do the right thing. Yes, you're emotional, but you have to look into that and try to control your emotions so you don't say the wrong things, do the wrong things, and then people just up and leave. You have to learn to control yourself. Because people should be allowed to be themselves. Another thing is like you could be very controlling. Like a lot of cancers are very, you get jealous easily, which makes you controlling. So I've read about these things, so I know. You kind of just have to double down and realize that if you want someone to stay with you, you can't control their life. You have to be just okay with people doing whatever it is they want to do. Okay? But always sharing your feelings. Holding it inside and then acting like a clown is not good for anybody. People can't read your minds. Okay? So these are things that I figured out and I'm just sharing it. So yeah. So there you have it. You have to control your words, control your actions, speak up. Okay, people can't read your mind. Say how you feel. Like something I'm very big on now is like I speak up. Sometimes not always in the best way. Like I feel like if you matter to me, I'm gonna say how I feel, and if you don't too much, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna block you. So maybe I still have some work to do, and that's just only one placement. So imagine those of you that be having sun, moon, and rising. Y'all probably the crazy people walking amongst us. But to know, like I said, to understand is freedom. To know yourself is freedom, because if you know that these things about you, you could work on it. Like when I've read like things about me as a Sagittarius, Cancer rising, Gemini moon, it would say stuff like, "Oh, you're lazy," blah blah blah. I'm not a lazy person. Like I said, I have a lot of Capricorn on my chart, so it's kind of like very balanced. Like, do I like to sleep? I like getting my rest, but I'm also very big on working out. I got like a 2-hour workout this morning, a nice long shower. So I'm not lazy. I'm just not into doing things that everybody else is doing. I rather work on using my God-given gifts to make a living, which is why we're here. So yeah, I don't think this was like a rumble or a rant. It was really just me shedding some light on what I've learned as a Cancer rising. And if you want to find out, like I said, I'm gonna put a lot of links. So if you want to find out, like, are you a Cancer rising, a Cancer moon, first you have to speak to your mom. Hopefully she's alive, in good condition, beautiful, healthy brain, so she can search there and remember, you were born on this time, on this day, at this time. So now you know, and then you can dive in and understand yourself better. Because that is what I've done, okay? And this is why I'm just blossoming. Like, I'm just becoming a better person day in and day out, just realizing, focusing on my thoughts. Okay, what are you thinking? What triggered you? What's making you think like this? You know, just getting to know yourself is like so important, and this is one of the ways. Like I said, I'm gonna hook it up with the links, and I hope this helps you out, whoever's looking at it. Always remember to stay hydrated, stay moisturized, stay healthy, stay beautiful, Thanks for watching.